Good morning, everyone. Today I'm going to start with part 2 of chapter 4, that is executive. In this part, we will be discussing some of the important persons who are the part of executive branch of the government. So let us start with it. Now, the president, who is known as the head of the state, I told you state means country. He is the head of the country. The entire administration of the state is run in his her name. Now, although I told you he doesn't work very actively, he is just a ceremonial. His signatures are only required in every treaty, every document. But whatever policies, whatever rules, whatever things are going on in the country, they must have the signature of the president. Okay, so that is why I have written the entire administration of the state is run in his her name, means his name, his signature should be there on the documents, rules, plans and policies which are to be implemented by the government. Okay, so his term is for 5 years, means he remains in office for 5 years once appointed. Now, how this president of India is elected, although this we have discussed in our previous chapter also, but just giving you the brief of this. The president of India is elected by electoral college, which means that the members of parliament, MPs of Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha and MLAs of all the states, that is elected members of state legislative assemblies. This complete body is known as electoral college. So they all choose the president of India by the system of proportional representation. You remember we did two type of election. One is first past the post and second proportional representation. So our president of India is elected by electoral college by the system of proportional representation with single transferable vote. Okay, now actually he is the nominal head of the state. This I have done you, as all execution work is done by council of ministers headed by prime minister. Basically, we call Indian government as the either we call it as prime ministership form of government, or we call it as council of ministers form of government, because all the work, all the plans, policies, they are implemented by council of ministers only in India, whose head is prime minister. But everything that I have told you, the president's signatures, his assent is required. So that is why he is the nominal head of the state. The real head is prime minister. Now next one, the president can only be removed from office. Now I told you his term is for 5 years, but before the end of the 5 years, if he is to be removed from his office, that can be only done by the process of impeachment by special majority. What is special majority? This I have explained you in chapter 1. So by following this special majority method and imposing impeachment against the president, he can be removed from his office even before 5 years only. But the only ground for impeachment, only thing for which he can be removed from his office is the violation of the constitution. Means if he doesn't abide by the, or if he doesn't follow the rules and regulations of the constitution, only then this process of impeachment can be started against him. Otherwise he cannot be removed from his post. So that's all regarding the president of India. And who is the current president of India? The current president of India is Shri Ram Nath Kovind. Okay, now let us come to the powers of the president. What are the main powers and functions of the president? Although we have done this also in our previous chapter, we had covered lot of things, but still we have to do in this chapter also. The president has wide ranging powers, lot of powers: executive, legislative, judicial, emergency appointments, number of powers, because I told you in everything president's signature is required. So wherever his signatures are required, merely signatures, सिर्फ एक sign भी जहाँ पे करने हैं ना, even that power come under him, because his sign are so much important. Okay, but all the powers are exercised after consultation with cabinet members members headed by Prime Minister. Now we can make a list of 100 of powers which come under President, but all those powers in actual practice they are exercised by Prime Minister and Cabinet Ministers. Only being the nominal head, only his signatures are required. Okay, so let us discuss some of the powers of the President. First one is legislative power. Legislature means to make the new rules for the country. This is the main function of the legislature. So the bill, it cannot become a law until the president put his signatures on it. Bill could be started by Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. When both the houses they sign the bill, they pass the bill, then it comes to the president. Now the president has the right to sign the bill, to declare it as a law. Now this president, he will sign the bill and the bill will become a law. But in case bill is not passed by Lok Sabha and it has been passed by Rajya Sabha, there is a deadlock situation between both the house. एक house ने pass कर दिया, second house is not ready to pass it. तो इस case में क्या होगा? President will call a joint meeting of the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha members, and over there discussion and debating on the bill will take place, and whatever decision will be taken after that, the president will put his signatures on the bill and that bill will become a law. Okay. Coming to the second function, executive power. Now this we have already discussed that all the rules and policies are started with his name. His signatures are so essential that the rules and policies cannot be implemented without his signatures. Third one, appointments. All the major appointments, they are made by president, such as judges of Supreme Court, judges of High Court, ambassadors to other countries, the governors of the different states in our country, the members of UPSC. Apart from it, the 12 members who are appointed in Rajya Sabha, even they are appointed by the president of the country. So all the high class, high post of our country, high positions of our country, they all are appointed by the president of a country, although in reality he takes the advice of Council of Ministers and he acts on their advice, fine, but still the major appointment is done by him. Next one is proclamation of emergency. After independence, it has been 3 times that this emergency has been imposed in our country. Okay, basically in 1960s and 70s, that time period. Now this emergency can be declared only by the president. Nobody else has the right to declare the emergency in the country. Only the president can declare the emergency in the country. But for this also, the president needs the written decision of the cabinet. If cabinet members headed by prime minister say that emergency has to be imposed, they will give in writing to the president, and then president will impose the emergency in our country. Okay. The next one is military function. Now this prime minister is the supreme commanding head of army, navy and air force. Now all our military forces, that is army or navy or air force, 3 of our military forces, that is our defense forces, their overall head is the president of the country. Now, did you see in all these functions, I have told you they are the functions of president, but actually who is working? Prime Minister and Council of Ministers. In every case, he has to take the advice of Prime Minister and Council of Ministers. Now, one thing is there, when this cabinet ministers, they give the advice to the president, in that case the president is bound to follow their advice, because cabinet ministers are chosen by the people. We have chosen those representatives, and democracy is the government of the people only. So the president is bound to follow that advice, but president can no doubt return back that advice to Council of Ministers for reconsideration, where he feel that some fault is there or something is not done properly. In that case, the advice could be given back. But when second time the ministers they send that same advice or changed advice to the president is bound to follow that advice. He has to do that work. Okay, so from this we come to the discretionary functions of the president. Now this discretionary functions, from your exam point of view, they are very important. Now what is discretionary functions? Till now we have seen कि हर जगह प्राइम मिनिस्टर और काउंसिल ऑफ मिनिस्टर्स की मर्जी चल रही है, बट देयर आर 3 थिंग्स वेयर प्रेसिडेंट के पास भी थोड़ी सी स्ट्रॉन्ग पावर्स हैं. सो फर्स्ट पावर इज दिस, दैट प्रेसिडेंट ही कैन एक्सरसाइज हिज डिस्क्रिशन, अपनी मर्जी वो चला सकता है. इन दिस फर्स्ट केस ओनली विच आई हैव एक्सप्लेन्ड यू जस्ट नाउ, कि वी नो कि प्रेसिडेंट वर्क ऑन एडवाइस ऑफ काउंसिल ऑफ मिनिस्टर्स, बट प्रेसिडेंट कैन सेंड बैक द एडवाइस फॉर रिकन्सिडरेशन इफ ही फील्स दैट एडवाइस हैज सर्टेन फ्लॉज, कि एडवाइस में कुछ नुक्स है या कुछ प्रॉपरली इसमें बनी नहीं हुई है या इसमें कोई फॉल्ट्स हैं या इट इज़ नॉट फॉर द वेलफेयर ऑफ द पीपल. तो इन दैट केस प्रेसिडेंट कैन आस्क द काउंसिल ऑफ मिनिस्टर्स कि इस एडवाइस को दोबारा से रिकन्सिडर कर लो, चेक कर लो. बट इफ़ द काउंसिल of ministers they again send the same decision, then the second time the president is bound to sign it. He has to sign the advice or he has to implement or work upon that advice. Okay, पर यहाँ पे वी हैव सीन कि एक बार तो प्रेसिडेंट ने अपनी डिस्क्रिशन चली, एक बार तो उसने अपना डिसीजन फॉलो किया और उसको किसी के पीछे नहीं चलना पड़ा. ओके, सो लेट अस कम टू सेकेंड वन. The bill becomes a law only after the signature of president. This I have told you कि bill law तभी बनेगा जब president के sign होंगे. Okay, even here the president is powerful, but president can send the bill back for reconsideration also. If the president even if the bill is passed by Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, but president finds some flaws in the bill or he feels that it is not good for the welfare of the people, he will send the bill back to that house which has started the bill. Okay, in this president can keep the bill for indefinite period of time if he doesn't want the bill to pass. अब now what happen, प्रेसिडेंट फॉर एग्जांपल लोकसभा ने कोई बिल स्टार्ट किया था, प्रेसिडेंट ने वापस लोकसभा में बिल भेज दिया कि इसमें ये चेंजेस कर दो. अब लोकसभा की मर्जी है कि वो चेंजेस करें या ना करें. इफ़ दे डू दे विल चेंज एंड अगेन सेंड द बिल टू प्रेसिडेंट. इफ़ दे डोंट डू वो दोबारा से सेम बिल प्रेसिडेंट को देंगे जो प्रेसिडेंट को साइन करना पड़ेगा. बट ओवर हेयर वी हैव अ ट्विस्ट. वो ट्विस्ट क्या है कि नोवेयर इन द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन इट इज़ रिटन कि प्रेसिडेंट हैज़ टू सेंड द बिल और साइन द बिल विद इन दिस मच पीरियड ऑफ टाइम, स्पेसिफिक पीरियड ऑफ टाइम के बीच में उसको साइन करना है, कोई टाइम मेंशन नहीं है. सो इन सच केस प्रेसिडेंट के पास एक पावर आ जाती है विच वी कॉल दिस पॉकेट वीटो, कि वो अपनी मर्जी से वो बिल को अपने पास कितने भी टाइम के लिए रख सकता है अगर उसके मन में ये है कि मैंने ये बिल पास नहीं होने देना है. ओके, सो ही विल कीप द बिल विद हिमसेल्फ, उसके ऊपर साइन ही नहीं करेगा, पास करेगा ही नहीं, तो अपने आप वो बिल लॉ नहीं बनेगा. सो ऐसा एक बार हुआ भी था. ज्ञानी जैल सिंह, ही वॉज द प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ इंडिया. देयर वाज सम बिल, पोस्टल अमेंडमेंट बिल था, तो उस बिल के ऊपर ज्ञानी जैल सिंह ही डजंट वांट दैट बिल टू बी पास्ड, जिसकी वजह से ही केप्ट द बिल विद हिमसेल्फ फॉर नंबर ऑफ ईयर्स. देन हिज प्रेसिडेंटशिप चेंज्ड, कोई और प्रेसिडेंट आ गया और जो गवर्नमेंट चल रही थी इवन दैट गवर्नमेंट चेंज्ड. फाइन, न्यू प्रेसिडेंट ने आके जब वो बिल वापस लोकसभा में भेजा तो न्यू गवर्नमेंट डिड नॉट ऑल्सो वांटेड टू पास दैट बिल, तो वो बिल वहीं का वहीं रह गया. फाइन, सो ओवर हेयर वी सी दैट हाउ द प्रेसिडेंट ही हैज़ एक्सरसाइज्ड हिज डिस्क्रिशन एंड ही डिडंट, इफ ही डिड नॉट वांटेड द bill to pass, how he has acted smartly. Third point, last point of discretionary functions. The president has right to appoint the prime minister of the country when no party gets a clear majority. Now you know the prime minister of India is appointed by the president. Although इसमें भी प्रेसिडेंट की अपनी मर्जी नहीं होती है कि वो किसी को भी अपॉइंट कर ले अपनी मर्जी से. द हेड ऑफ द मेजॉरिटी पार्टी इन लोकसभा बिकम्स द प्राइम मिनिस्टर, बट उसको अपॉइंट कौन करता है? प्रेसिडेंट. फाइन, बट समटाइम्स व्हाट हैपन, नो पार्टी गेट्स द क्लियर मेजॉरिटी, किसी पार्टी को मेजॉरिटी नहीं मिलती. सो एट दिस पॉइंट, दिस इज़ द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट फंक्शन ऑफ प्रेसिडेंट. एट दिस पॉइंट प्रेसिडेंट यूज हिज डिस्क्रिशन इन जजिंग हु रियली मे हैव द सपोर्ट ऑफ मेजॉरिटी इन फ्यूचर एंड हु कैन एक्चुअली फॉर्म एंड रन द गवर्नमेंट. कि जितने भी लोग हैं जो दावा कर रहे हैं अपनी प्राइम मिनिस्टरशिप के लिए कि मैं प्राइम मिनिस्टर बनना चाहता हूँ या इस पार्टी से ये बनना चाहता है, तो उनमें से जो प्रेसिडेंट को बेस्ट वन लगेगा और उसको लगेगा कि हाँ ये फ्यूचर में इतने टाइम, उनको टाइम पीरियड दे दिया जाता है दैट 1 वीक और 10 डेज और 15 डेज और 1 मंथ कि 1 महीने के बीच में, मतलब एनी टाइम गिवन बाय द प्रेसिडेंट आपको लोकसभा की मेजॉरिटी हासिल करनी है. मोर एंड मोर मेंबर्स यू हैव टू ब्रिंग इट इन योर पार्टी. सो उस बंदे को प्रेसिडेंट प्राइम मिनिस्टर अपॉइंट कर देगा जिसमें उसको थोड़ी काबिलियत दिखती है कि ये मेजॉरिटी को हासिल कर लेगा एंड ही कैन फॉर्म एंड ही कैन रन द गवर्नमेंट इन अ वेरी इफेक्टिव वे. सो इन दिस केस this president has a very good discretion power at his end, and even this case it has occurred 1 or 2 times in our Indian history. ऐसा भी हो चुका है. I think it was in 1998. Atal Bihari Vajpayee, he was the head of the BJP and the coalition, और किसी पार्टी को मेजॉरिटी नहीं मिली. 10-20 सीट्स रह गई थी बीजेपी को मेजॉरिटी शो करने में, बट the president at that time he chose Atal Bihari Vajpayee because he had confidence that he will run a very good government, and in some time उनको 10 days दे दिए गए थे कि 10 days के बीच में आपको लोकसभा की मेजॉरिटी हासिल करनी है. मीन्स ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा लोकसभा के मेंबर्स को अपनी पार्टी की तरफ खींचना है. Fine. So these are the discretionary functions of the president as the part of the executive branch or organ of the government. So I hope you are clear with the tenure, the appointment, then the special powers and the discretionary functions of the President of India. With this I finish up with part 2 of chapter 4 executive. Till now we have covered President as a part of executive. In our next video we will be discussing about the Prime Minister and his powers. Thank you so much.